oh guys, hey people, hey guys, David here.
Hey guys, David here bringing you another review, and this time it is of an operating system, which I never thought I was going to be able to do. But here I have one of the long-awaited products of 2009 for both professionals and consumers alike, and that is the operating system known as Windows 7. Now, in terms of installation, if you bought it separately, I have no idea how that works, but if you got an upgrade, much like I did, from the laptop or computer that you had purchased, it will come in a sleeve with two discs and an insert. The instructions on how to install it are on the insert, so it's no problem. The instructions are very simple. It will take a while though. For me, it took about 4 hours, so it's going to take quite a bit. If you know you're going to be installing Windows 7, make sure to have a set of DVDs to keep yourself entertained. But here we have Windows 7 in all its glory. Now, you're going to notice some differences right away, and there are some differences that haven't actually, they're subtle. You almost can't tell. And also, I'm going to try to keep this review as entertaining as possible, so I'm not going to use a bunch of computer mumble jumble as I actually do happen to be familiar with. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys decent explanations and not confuse the out of you guys. So let's start with some of the good things that you get from Windows 7. Now, I am a major geek when it comes to personalizing your own things and customizing your own settings. I love to do that in video games, I like to do that in social network systems, and I love to do that here. And luckily, it has been provided. Now, first off, as you can see, we have a different design for the taskbar down here. As you can see, we have all of these various different icons. We got your icon for your sound, your Wi-Fi, your battery, your updates, if you got any updates to install. You also got this little arrow down here, which contains all your hidden icons. You click it, all these icons are going to appear within this box. All these icons are the icons that would generally appear right here in Windows Vista as well as Windows XP. All of these icons are of either programs that are currently active or programs that are somewhat hidden, but they're installing updates on their own and stuff like that. As you can see right here, I have the program that I'm recording this with. As you can see, upon installation, it shows both the date and the time. You can change it so it can only show the time or only show the date, whatever you prefer. And over here, we also got a bunch of other icons that I'll get to in a second as to why they are like that. Here we have the start button, and obviously we got a very nice glow to it, which I really like. And as you can see, the start menu looks almost no different than the Windows Vista menu, so not much change has gone under there, other than the fact that it's actually really easy to shut down your computer. Before, you would click on the shutdown computer and it'll end up restarting, or you will easily get confused with a lot of commands such as restart, log out, shutdown. Now it's become a lot easier. The default action is shutdown. You click on this arrow, you can switch between actions such as log off, log, switch user, restart, hibernate, sleep. Now the icons, they do look a little bit smaller than they did in Windows Vista. However, after installing Windows 7, they are about the same size. They look no different. The only reason why they look a lot smaller is because I decided to make them smaller in order to increase space upon my desktop. So that is a very nice plus, and obviously this is actually one of the abilities that you've managed to do with Windows 7, and that is to shrink the size of your icons. Now, how do you do that? Well, that's the beauty of Windows 7. You can do this very easily. Right click on the desktop and you'll scroll down here, and as you can see, we got personalize. Click on that. Window will open up. By the way, also the template for the windows are pretty much the same, only a little bit different in terms of color scheme and translucency. But as you can see, here we have all our different options, as well as down here, in order to modify the look of your computer, of your desktop, that is, as well as all these other functions right here on the side. So you got various amount of combinations that you could set for the design of your desktop. Now, Windows 7 is all about conveniency, so what they decided to do is have you make sets or themes. I like to call them sets and or themes, whatever I like to, call them at the moment. But these themes are packages of colors, templates, wallpapers, sounds, everything. There are certain sets and themes. As you can see, we got the standard Windows 7 theme, we got an architecture theme, characters theme, landscapes theme, nature, whatever. that is completely awesome. You just select whatever wallpapers you want there to be in the theme. You choose your color of your window glass theme, and the sounds, and and add a screensaver if you prefer. And there you go. You got your themes, and all you gotta do is just switch between themes. I'm gonna switch on over to the characters theme, and as you can see, fades into this very disturbing wallpaper. But this allows various sorts of customizations. You can also modify your backgrounds. As you can see right here, we got 3 wallpapers, and you could select them by checking the checkbox right there. And you can also set whether you want the wallpapers to fill up the entire screen, to simply fit the screen, to stretch them throughout the screen, or tile them or center your standard wallpaper settings. But what you can also do, which I think is completely, utterly awesome, is that you can have a different wallpaper every as for example right here it says 10 seconds, switch between every 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds it's going to change the wallpaper, so you will never be bored by having the same wallpaper. And if you're lazy like me, you won't have to dig through your downloads or through your pictures in order to choose your wallpaper. It'll automatically switch on its own. That is ultimately amazing in my opinion, so that's a definite plus. You can also choose which icons you want displayed on your desktop. Click on what kind of mouse pointers you want. Plus, you can also change your account picture. I like the dog. The dog is cute. Doggy. Oh, we got another dog. But pretty much all the actions over here on this side are your standard, settings for any operating system, to be precise. You can also modify the settings for the display overall of your screen. There's almost no limit to what you can do in terms of customization. Now, there are a few things about Windows 7 that aren't exactly good, but they don't really ruin it for me, and that is the fact that aside from the taskbar and the different personalization customization options, there's almost not that much visual difference between Windows XP and Windows 7 upon installation. And that's also another thing, installation. It's going to take a long time, it's going to take a lot of power, and a lot of patience. And another thing is that since you're installing a new operating system, it's going to constantly download new updates. So if you got a slow computer, this is going to take up a lot of power from the computer and a lot of speed. Now, some of the bad things about Windows 7, well, you got the biggest problem, for me at least, is the fact that some settings, after you click save on the settings, such as customization settings or audio settings or video settings, whatever it is you change, when you restart the computer, when you turn off the computer and then you turn it back on, some of those settings remain unchanged. I don't know if this is Windows 7 or if this is simply because I'm using an Acer laptop, but there's this function that enables you to switch between surround sound and surround sound on and surround sound off. I choose it off because when I have it on using my speakers, there's this echo. So I switch it off so I can get rid of that echo. But when I turn off the laptop and then I turn it on back the next day, I have to change those settings once again because when I play a video, there's that echo again, so I have to switch it back off. Also, coming back to the installation, there are certain instances where Windows is going to ask you to uninstall certain programs. One of the programs that is very convenient to us, but unfortunately you're going to have to uninstall when upgrading to Windows 7 is iTunes themselves. You're going to have to uninstall it, upgrade to Windows 7, and then reinstall it again. Fortunately, none of your data will be lost. Once you install iTunes, all of the music that you play through iTunes, all of your podcasts, all of your videos are still going to be there. So at least they didn't take that from us. Plus, there's also a little bit of gimpiness in terms of minimization and maximizing settings. Just for example, if I open up Safari browser right here, let's go ahead and open that up. And I opened up 2 windows here. Okay. Let's say, for example, we create a new tab. If we click on here, the only way to you can't minimize if you click on it. All it's going to do is pop up this window right here with these 2 tabs here, in which you could switch through various tabs of the application. The only way to minimize is to right click on minimize, or go over here and click on minimize. So you have to, some of those things there are no shortcuts for. So this concludes my review of Windows 7. Now I know I probably have not even scratched the surface with this thing, because I know that I'm missing quite a few options that you could do with Windows 7. There's some at the tip of my tongue that I simply cannot remember, but I know they're there. I'll try to look them up, and if I'm able to find some more, features, options, as well as bugs, maybe even some more things that I do not like, I will go ahead and make a Windows 7 2.0 review. But for the time being, let me just enjoy it. I give Windows 7. I had no idea that I was gonna come to grading an operating system. But for its vast conveniency as well as efficiency, despite its small little setbacks, I mean, no operating system is going to be perfect. Maybe in the future, since it is just a machine. I'm going to have to give Windows 7 an 8.9 out of 10, which is a B+. Very sufficient, very excellent overall. It does have its flaws, but it's certainly way better than Windows Vista. See you guys later.